Andrew, where you heading on Thursday?
I'm going back home to Latonia. My grandma's cooking, and I'm bringing Solomon with me.
Oh, that's a lot of eating right there.
A lot of eating.
So you're looking at 320 now. You're looking at 330 when you get back.
326, 327, something like that.
Do they order 2 turkeys when they
They just order a lot of food.
Yeah. If you warned your family about Solomon, though, I mean, he can put away with it.
He came last year, so
Oh, did he?
they're prepared. Yeah.
Okay.
What's the feeling as you guys get ready to go against Georgia Tech? Is this still, even though their record is down and all that kind of stuff, still an important game for you?
It's still a rivalry. I remember back in 2016, I wasn't part of the team yet, but I was at the game when they beat us here at home. So, it's still stuck with a lot of guys here. So we just want to go out and play our best.
What do you remember about that? I know every time they've won you, they've always done something to hedges and stuff. Is that something that sticks with y'all?
Yeah, I remember them, tearing up the field and having the hedges in their mouth, stuff like that.
Do you guys have pictures of that in the locker room?
Yeah, they put some pictures up, and we have like stuff in the weight room we're working out too.
Are you were you disappointed on any level or ticked off that you didn't make the finalists for the Outland Trophy?
Yeah, I mean, I was upset about it, but it's just motivation to keep working. There's things I got to improve on, so that's what I'm trying to do.
Team cognizant of the Joe Moore. You guys are still involved in that award, right?
Yeah, we are. We're just trying to get better offensive line. We haven't been playing to our standard lately. So
what do you attribute that to?
It's just it's the small things. It's steps. It's leverage, like things of that nature, like just your basic fundamentals. And that's what we've been focusing on this week, just like kind of like breaking down like what's the basics of like what we need to do.
So in terms of the rivalry, I know that you grew up in Atlanta and everything. So do you remember watching a specific Georgia Tech game as a kid that kind of stands out?
Oh no, when I was young, I didn't really watch much football, but I kind of have a funny story from like recruiting.
Okay.
When I was in high school, one of my teammates, he was a senior. He plays at Richmond right now, Timothy, and the Georgia Tech, the previous Georgia Tech O-line coach came, and I guess he thought I was him, so he had called me Timothy, and that just like turned me off from going to look at that school. Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's pretty funny.
What's his last name? Timothy
It's
what?
Coleman.
Coleman?
Yeah.
Do you got a favorite Thanksgiving dish, side dish?
Side dish, probably mac and cheese. It's probably my number one.
Where do you fall on the what's wrong with Georgia's offense equation? Do you feel like there's anything wrong, or do you see it being able to perform better than it has to this point?
I mean, we definitely haven't been reaching our goals. Like after the game, we break it down, and we have certain goals that we haven't met. And like I said before, like it's like the small details. Like we're so close. Like some plays is like literally inches that could have been really explosive plays and things like that. But we're working on it. We're trying to get better.
Is that one of those things whenever as soon as the play's over, you realize, man, we just almost. So when you go back and watch on film, what kind of how it is?
Yeah, like during the game, it's just like because you can't really see what everybody else is doing, so you only focus on like what you're doing. So you're like trying to figure out like what's going on the sideline, trying to figure out. But when you watch film, it's like it's simple like fundamentals, like I said earlier.
How much of a boost, confidence did you get out of being able to run out the clock? I mean, the last 4.5 minutes, A&M punted thinking they were going to get it back with 3 timeouts.
Yeah, it meant a lot, to go down there, run the clock out, run the ball, because we were struggling, earlier in the game, and to win for a minute, to win the game, it was pretty cool.
What about Swift? I mean, when you guys watch film, you see what DeAndre does time and time again. You've had great backs behind you for a few years. How would you explain how DeAndre fits into the Chubb and Sony conversation?
He's just dynamic. Like you can never, I guess, I don't know how to put it, but like sleep on him. Like each play, like he might look like he might be tackled. He might be a guy in the backfield, and he'll just make a play. And sometimes you're just like, wow, like we're out there sometimes blocking, and you're just like looking like almost like a fan because he makes plays sometimes that you don't think should happen.
There's obviously a significant game on the other side of Georgia Tech. Is there discussion of LSU? Is there work on LSU, or is it 100% Georgia Tech this week?
Right now, we're focused on Georgia Tech. We're trying to get better. Obviously, it's not a secret. We know we play them, in the SEC championship. So we're trying to get better as a team because if we take care of, ourselves, we'll be, prepared for that game.
You mentioned Solomon coming to your house. Obviously, you're close with Solomon. How hard has it been? I mean, coming back from an ankle, and you did it
Yeah.
last year. Everybody just thinks it's, you know,
Mhm.
video game, and now you're 100%. But those things linger. How tough do you think that's been on him?
I think it's been pretty tough. I know he's been frustrated. We've been frustrated. You know, it's hard for him. But he's fighting hard. He's trying to do what he can to, you know, play the best he can.
How did you get over? I mean, how just from a mental standpoint, playing with something like that or getting past something like that?
Well, like it's kind of hard because, like, from my experience, like when I got hurt last year, it was like a couple of games where like, I would get rolled up again, and it's kind of like frustrating. So eventually, I just had to stop worrying about it and just play. Like you can't be out there trying to, like, you know, not step this way because you don't want to get rolled up. Like you just got to play and then let everything else take care of itself.
Any of the young guys starting to emerge, impress you in practice? I mean, we only see the front line, but obviously you see the young guys come to fruition behind the scenes.
Yeah, we got. I think James Cook is going to be a really good back when, you know, he gets his opportunity. And obviously, we have, you know, some young receivers that's doing pretty well.
How about some of the young freshman offensive linemen who we haven't really seen or talked about, who's kind of been jumping out at you?
I think Clay Webb, once he figures it out, like far as the offensive scheme wise, he's going to be a great player. Like, he's really strong. He has good leverage. He's pretty athletic, so I think he's going to be good.
How about Xavier and Warren?
Xavier, he's been doing pretty well. Warren, he's been getting more reps with us because he had been down on the scout team, but he's been getting some reps, you know, with the twos, and he's gonna have to pick up some weight, but he has like good technique. He's gonna
Xavier
be
been kind of working behind you a little bit at left, or?
Yeah, Xavier, he works at the second team left tackle, so
Okay.
you know, I try my best, just, you know, try to give him some points and things like that, trying to, you know, make him a better player.
What's the main lesson a young guy like that has to learn to play this position effectively?
For him, just not to lean and pass pro. Like, I still work on it today, but like because we're such a run-heavy offense, like we pride ourselves on, you know, like being physical. So when you see a guy coming at you, you want to kind of hit him, but at tackle, you have to be patient and, you know, sit back and punch your hands.
How about those young ends you go up against, Nolan and Aziz and Jermaine? I mean, you getting out here just in time before they start beating you, or you've been holding them off pretty good?
I think I've been winning my battles pretty good, but nah, they're all talented. It's a pleasure to go against them every day. They're different. I think that's why we've been, you know, one of the top teams as far as like sacks wise in the country, because we go against those guys every day. So.
How competitive is it? I mean, do they really get amped up to try and beat you? I mean, is it like that every time?
Yeah, it's very competitive. Coach Scott, every time someone goes against me, he was like, "Who wants to go to Nugget?" Like, and so everybody is like, you know, piped up to, you know, against me. But I appreciate it because it makes me a better player.
How they scheme up that sack against you guys in terms of they overloaded that side and made it tough to block?
Yeah, so how we base, you know, our protection sometimes is the alignment of the safeties into the field. He was capped, so we two-spotted it out there. But when we turned it, they brought two off the edge from the boundary. So after that, we reassessed it, and then the next time they ran it, we turned it to the boundary. Yeah.